Hello, everyone. Good evening. Welcome, or good day, whenever you're watching or listening to this. Welcome to Living Kabbalah, our weekly class to help us tune in to energies that are available this week that we can use to help us grow, to help us go to our next level, to help us be more connected, be more conscious, more aware of what's going on, and how can we grow, right? Every week, every day is an opportunity for us to grow, to change, to be in a higher, more evolved state of consciousness. And this week has its own specific energy for us, and we want to be aware of it. We want to be conscious of it. And thank you for turning on your video. Everyone else, you're more than welcome to also, so we can be more connected. And we want to start with a meditation with an intention that we want to close our eyes, be in a space of openness, of learning lessons, understanding that everything is happening for the good. Everything is happening to help us. I want to invite the energy of the Creator, this universal force that we are a part of, to be more connected to it, to feel it in our everyday life, to feel it supporting us, guiding us, instructing us, enlightening us. To feel connected, free, and become bigger beacons of light in this reality, in this world. I'm going to read a paragraph from the Zohar to help us fuse this energy as well. וידבר אלוהים אל משה ויאמר אליו אני השם. רבי יהודה פתח, קמתי אני לפתוח לדודי ודודי חמק עבד וגו. קמתי אני לפתוח לדודי דה קלה תחזה. כנסת ישראל דה איכו בגלותה, קלה הסתלק מינה ומילה, השתכח מינה כ"ד א' י' ואלמניתי דומיה, ואי יתעל ילתה מה כתיב ודודי חמק, עבר דחה, קלה הסתלק מינה ותעסקה מילה, ועלדה וידבר אלוהים אל משה, שירת למעללה, ופסק ושתיק לבטה איש לים, קלה ואמר ויאמר עליו אני השם. Okay, so everyone, we are in the week of Vayera. It's the second portion in the book of what's called Exodus. And we are, just to recap, we're in the 6 weeks called Shovavim, which is the first letters of the 6 upcoming weeks. And in the physical story, it's the building of the Israelites going out of Egypt, the Israelites building what's called the tabernacle, where the Creator is physically present in our physical reality for the first time among thousands of people. So in more practical terms, we are in the process of restoring our vessel, building and completing our vessel, making it a vessel to receive the endless light of the Creator, right? This is what we're here for. We entered this physical plane for one purpose, to be totally unified with the Creator, right? And everything that's happening to us is only helping us do that constantly, on a constant basis. And we are blessed, and we are we have so much merit that we actually have this perspective, this consciousness, and this ability. And this week, in the physical story of the portion, it's Moses and the Israelites going up to Pharaoh on a physical level. Just to recap the 1%, the clothing of the story. And he's basically telling Pharaoh, you got to let us leave because we want to go and connect to the Creator. And what does Pharaoh say? Pharaoh says, the Creator already tells Moses, I'm not going to let you go. So it's a very funny scenario. It's like the Creator is telling Moses, go tell Pharaoh, release the Israelites. But I'm not going to let him do it because I'm going to harden his heart and he's not going to have any desire to let you go. So it's it's a very funny, kind of doesn't make any sense. The Creator is like playing games, literally. He's on one side, he's saying, go tell him to let you go, but I'm going to make sure he's not going to want to let you go. It's kind of a funny situation. And we have the first 7, what's called the 7 plagues. So altogether, we know that there's 10 plagues or cleansing processes that Israelites and Egyptians went through, the whole world went through, in order to receive the light of the Creator in its fullest, strongest form. And this is obviously, the whole story is obviously a metaphor. There's no actual physical reason for the story, for us to read it also. It doesn't make any sense. There's no need for us to read it. And there's infinite and endless amount of lessons that are coming from this story. So we're going to talk about what practical lessons we can extract. And also, we are in the last week of the Kabbalistic month of Capricorn, called Tevet. And we're starting a very special, very positive month of Aquarius this Thursday. So we're in a process of transitioning also, and of letting go. Letting go, moving forward, expanding our consciousness. And to connect to the energy, in summary, the energy of the portion is all about mind over matter, all about my consciousness having the full ability to control physical reality around me. Because this is the first time when any human being, especially Moses. Now, just a side note, Moses, when we talk about Moses, it doesn't mean somebody out there. It doesn't mean some leader, etc. It actually means us. It actually means our soul, our self, our higher self, but really us. And he's connecting to a very, very high elevated level of light of a Creator, higher than anyone has ever experienced in our physical reality. Now, what's also interesting is the location where it's happening. And the location where it's happening is in Egypt. And Egypt, as we know, Kabbalistically, it's not a country. It's not the place where the Nile River is, or anything like that. It actually is our darkness, our negativity, the place of where we sometimes avoid of touching, right? When you look at spirituality, or when people think about spirituality, it immediately associates us with a moment of peace, meditation, yoga, study, etc. But really, spirituality is also us, every single one of us, going to places where we might not want to visit, where it's not so comfortable, where it's not so pleasant, where it's not like a space when you're like, oh, let me go and look at my childhood trauma or something like that. It's not our natural reaction. We're definitely not brought up this way, right? We're definitely not taught this way in school. That in school we were taught to look at our life as like, oh, you're having difficulties? Let's look deeper into it. Don't worry about it. It's okay. We're taught a lot of information, which is also important, but some very simple skills as dealing with difficulty or trauma or hardship in our soul is not necessarily like a second nature to us, right? Especially not taught in our school. However, that's what makes a person happy, right? What makes a person happy is when he's in peace with everything that has happened to him, when he's in peace with every process that he went through in his life. And the ultimate state of peace is actually understanding the positive of everything that has happened to me. Imagine this state of consciousness. Imagine, just imagining it, by the way, and hearing this is actually already connecting us. So imagining the state of mind that you're in when you are in a total state of appreciation for every single difficulty that you've ever went through. That's a very high level of consciousness. And the funny thing is, it's actually accessible and available to us already. It's not really, the space between us and that state of mind is determined only by ourselves. That's the beauty of spirituality and Kabbalah, is that there's no one else who's out there who's going to determine how long or how fast or it's going to take you. It's only up to us. And that's a real sense of freedom. Now, the theme of these coming weeks, the theme of the sign of Aquarius, is all about freedom. This is the big theme of these 2 weeks, actually, especially. The theme of the sign of Aquarius, the rebel, the sign that's always fighting for truth, the fighting for people, for equality. And this is the time that we're living in, right? I'm sure you heard about the Great Conjunction. We talked about it in December when it happened, when the two giants of our solar system, Jupiter and Saturn, met in the 0 degree of Aquarius. We also are living in the age of Aquarius, and we're starting the month of Aquarius, first time ever in this conjunction, after this conjunction. So energy of freedom is flowing through the universe, energy of freedom, of letting go, of removing. We went from the sign of Saturn, the sign of Capricorn, which is all about structure, right? Capricorn is you have to earn. Capricorn is you want something, work every single second for it. Work every single, you have to pay every single cent for it. It cannot be, nothing is for nothing. That's the sign of Capricorn. The karmic police, the IRS of the solar system, of our astrological stars, is the sign of Capricorn and Saturn. They're both, that's what they represent. They represent nothing is for nothing. They represent you want something, work and work and work. And the main addiction of the sign of Capricorn is actually work. They're workaholics. They love working. I have to work, invest more work into it, and etc. And we're switching to a completely different energy, all about freedom, all about just people, all about you want something, you can have it. There's nothing stopping you from it. Now, the interesting thing is that the sign of Aquarius has those incredible attributes. The most genius sign, the number of geniuses that are born under the sign is the highest, actually. However, the slight negative of it is also the most number of people in mental institutions are also usually sign of Aquarius. It's because they're so out there. They're so not ordinary. They're so not regular. And the good thing that we can get from it is the ability to see things differently, to get different perspectives. Think about your life before you discovered something important in it. Think about your life before you found Kabbalah, before you found some amazing simple tool that changed your life, a belief, an understanding, a perspective. Those instances in life are gifts from the Creator. They're kind of showered onto us. And this is the sign of Aquarius. This is what the energy of Aquarius is. It's almost like a shower of different perspective is going to start on us. Now, however, in rain, you can experience two things. You can either feel miserable, drenched, wet, and upset, right? Or you can actually enjoy it, right? It actually depends on you. It's all about your mindset. It has nothing to do about, oh, it's always bad. No, rain is actually considered one of the biggest blessings in this world, in Kabbalistic perspectives. When water, mercy is coming down. And this is the sign of Aquarius. Now, what does it mean? It means you want to be open to different perspectives. We, each and every single one of us, we want to be open to different perspectives. Meaning everything that you have in your life, the way you see it right now, be ready to change that completely and to make it and to see it from a completely different perspective. That's a huge blessing for us, huge revelation. And it's almost like it's a little bit, so the sign is a little bit aggressive. Aquarius is considered an aggressive sign in terms of like it's not sensitive to the vessel, right? What is the relationship between the light and the vessel? The Creator said, you want to earn light, you want to remove bread of shame, I am for you, I'm with you, I'm here for you. Whatever is your wish, that's my command. That's what the Creator said literally. However, the sign of Aquarius is not so gentle. It's a little bit of a rough sign. It's more aggressive. It's very pushy. If you've seen movies about Steve Jobs, he's a classical Aquarius, completely genius in terms of thinking, structuring, etc. However, incredibly unconsiderate and not sensitive to people around, angry, etc. It's another sign. It's another attribute of a sign, is a lot of anger. But it's called the sign of the male waters. This is a cold word. What it means is that the energy will be coming in, and it's kind of like not testing if you are ready for it or not. It's just going to come pour down on us, and it's just going to be pouring down on us. How can we be prepared? How can we enjoy this this spiritual rain that we're going to experience? The way that you want to be, the way that you will be ready is to tell yourself, there's a different perspective to everything in my life. Everything in my life has a completely different perspective from what I see right now. Did we ever think that we're going to be able to go away from using our office spaces and living from home and whatever the 2020 taught us? No, that was maybe Aquarius has thought of it that way, but for normal people, it wasn't something that they would think. However, we see that it's reality, right? And people are actually seeing the benefits of it also. It's not so bad. It's doable. It brought us closer to us, to ourselves. So that's a sign of Aquarius. Aquarius is newness, is different, is change, is higher perspectives, is higher points of view, is actually better points of view also. It's ingenious points of view. The reason why we are open to study the wisdom of Kabbalah is because in a very big picture, all of humanity is in the age of Aquarius, right? And it's just an overabundance of newness that is about to enter our physical reality. Now, the portion is very relevant. It makes total sense and exactly fits into what's happening. What Moses is doing, what the Creator is doing through Moses and Israelites, is he's destroying old structures. He's destroying old systems, old perspectives. The plagues we go through, as I mentioned, we go through the 7 plagues of the 10, and they are pretty intense and they're very dark. And for anyone that doesn't know, actually Israelites, as well as Egyptians, the Israelites that do not want to leave Egypt are suffering just as much as Egyptians. In the actual reality, almost 4/5 of all Israelites are going to perish in these plagues because they don't want to leave Egypt, because it has nothing to do with where you're coming from. It was all about your mindset. If you want this taste of freedom or no, or if you're very attached to the way you believe and think things have to happen right now. And we see it happening to everyone, from the rulers of nations to every single human being, is if you're not ready to let go, if you're not ready to change your perspective, to change your consciousness, things are going to collapse. But you know what? We also go through moments, and what if it does happen? What if there's things that we might not notice that we need to change, or we need to change our perspective? The way you look at difficulty is also very important. That you don't want to be caught off guard when something doesn't go my way. I don't want to be falling into the panic of, oh my God, things are not working, things are not going my way. That's actually the biggest change that you can change. The biggest change is not necessarily about the small things, the way I look at my work, at my health, at my relationships, etc., my relationships with other people, etc. It's not just that. It's the moment when things don't go my way. How is my reaction? how is the 3 F's, right? We have the 3 F's of reactive behavior. It's fight, flight, or freeze. And when things don't go my way, I fall into one of them, right? I fall into either I fight, I might run away, or I freeze completely. So actually, I want to change that. I want to change it. I want to have a different perspective. I want to say, you know what? Even though things are not going my way, my perspective, I'm sure it's actually good for me, probably. That's what I want to achieve. That's what I want to install in my consciousness. That's the consciousness of more of a Piscean, right? The Piscean advisor that's always telling you that if you have a very good Pisces friend and you go to them and you tell them, oh, things are not working right. And, first of all, listen, because they're ultimate empaths, right? Empathists. So they listen to you, but also the best thing you can hear is, listen, maybe it's good for you. Maybe it's not such a bad thing. Maybe the fact that you're assuming that this is not good, this is not right for me, and this is bad, maybe it's actually good for you, right? I read some incredible quotes from Rav Berg this past weekend, and they were just so mind-changing to me. One of them it was incredible. One of them was about tikkun and death. And Rav says that actually death is an intervention from the Creator for the soul. Meaning when a person experiences death, God forbid, obviously, but it's actually an intervention. It's actually the Creator coming to the soul and telling them, listen, you completely are off path. You wanted to do X, Y, and Z in this world. You wanted to achieve this kind of greatness. And you are not on this path right now. You're not achieving any of it. So let's do an intervention. Let's do a reboot. Let's start over. It's such a sobering and incredible perspective to that. Obviously, there's souls that finish their tikkun also and that are just ready to elevate. That's also a reason why people leave this world. But another reason, it's actually an intervention. It's actually an intervention of the Creator telling the soul, let's do it over. Let's start over. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of what you did wrong. Let's start a new slate. Another one this was beautiful to me, is the definition of courage. What is true courage? And the Rav writes, courage is the knowledge of what to fear. So courage is usually fearlessness, right? Or being brave, right? Or being not afraid. But the Rav writes, actually courage is when you know what to fear. When you know that you should fear your reactive behavior. You should fear your procrastination. You should fear your fear. It's such a it's almost like a life-changing quote when you think about it. And obviously, change can happen in an instant, or it's just a seed that gets planted and eventually starts growing and turn into whatever it needs to. But to think about it, that you actually do want to be afraid of your opponent, of your reactivity, of your limiting beliefs. So those were really beautiful. And another idea that I personally want to discover more about is the idea of trust. And this is something very big. This is something very big in our life, that we put trust on a lot of people. And actually, some of the biggest pain and trauma that we experience in life is with people that we put trust on. For example, parents. You put certain trust on your parents, right? You expect them to be a certain way, right? You say that, it's automatic. It's kind of given to us that we're born to them, so we expect and we trust that they're going to take care of us and they'll do X, Y, and Z to us. And, obviously to expand it to other relationships, to maybe lovers that you had, to relationships that you had, business partners, friendship. It's a form of trust that you start to have. And the moment the trust is broken, that is probably one of the most painful experiences a person can go through. A real kind of heartbreak doesn't necessarily come from, someone leaving you, etc. It obviously is. However, the real thing that was hurt is the trust. is you trusted someone. You trusted someone to be there for you. You trusted someone to be with you. You trusted. You experienced trust. And all of a sudden, this trust is broken. Now, this is a very high level of evolution of a person. And it's not something, obviously, that you're just expected to, just move on in a second. But again, we want to plant a seed. We want to have a different perspective on the situation, that we put trust on people, on a lot of people. You can put trust on a lot of people and random people. And every single one of us has such, I had meetings today with some new students and with some people that don't study Kabbalah even. And it was just like the lives that people are living, the stories that people go through are just incredible, just so, so vast. It's like how could you ever write enough movies to describe all the different scenarios that people go through? But trust is a major one. And kind of to throw it out there, to plant the seed about this idea, is the understanding that the people that you can really have trust on, not people, and who can you have trust towards, is the Creator. That's the ultimate dude you can trust on always, who's always going to be there for you. And not only that, you want to be the one who's trustworthy. That's the ultimate lesson of any time someone betrays your trust, is that you want to learn, you want to understand that trust is something that I want to embody. I want to be trustworthy. I want to be there for a person when I say I will be there for them. And when somebody is not there for me, what do I do? What do we do? What's the solution when people do break our trust? When people, Moses is a great example of how he could have got upset at the Creator. He's being played like a ping pong ball. And the Creator is telling him, go tell Pharaoh to let them go, but I'll make sure he's not going to let you go. What's the point? But trust is something that really touches every single one of us, especially more spiritually evolved people. Actually, the older the soul is, the more it longs for a space where it can see a space or a platform where it can see something trustworthy. The reason why I started continued and became a teacher, because I saw that I could trust the Rav with anything. And there's so many stories that came out afterwards that we didn't know about for 30 years, that people told things. The famous story of one of our students that sadly already passed, but he came to the Rav in 90s, and he was a brand new student, and he was diagnosed with a certain condition, and the doctor told him, you God willing, you have 6 months. That will be amazing, and that will be a very rare condition, but God willing, you're going to have 6 months, and you'll be able to survive. So sometime into that, he comes to the Rav, he tells a story. The Rav tells him, do not say the condition and that you have this to any single human being after this. I am guaranteeing that you will live and you'll be fine. And he lived, this person, Artur Spakojnik, he lived 20-something years while the Rav was in this world, like nothing. Even his wife didn't know this. He had this condition. It was as sadly as the Rav, after the Rav left the world, it's almost like his guarantor left, and he started to, the condition came back, sadly. But it was this incredible sense of trust that you could experience with the Rav. That was really beautiful. But how do we move on from people that we did trust? How do we move on from the trust that was broken? The number one is, for sure, forgiveness. Is acceptance of the situation, is allowing it, is understanding that, you know what, it's okay, it's fine. And I want to come to a place where I totally forgive this person. And I actually want to be in a state of appreciation for them. And actually, when you really realize it, that when you really realize that everyone has their own, I don't know how to call it, is bugs in the head, right? That everyone goes through a different story, and actually whatever they did was only to help you grow. And the moment that I will grow is not by them doing it, but by me realizing that this event was only to help me. This event was only to help me be more forgiving, more giving, and be stronger and less relying on other people to provide me with something. Because you build trust when you assume that something needs to be obtained from the outside, right? When I assume that my happiness is dependent by me being with someone or in a certain situation or in a certain scenario, that means that it's something outside and it's not in me. I want to be whole, complete on my own. I don't want to be dependent on any outside force to make me whole and complete. And the faster I realize it, the better it's going to be. The faster I'm going to bring things into my life that will help me. So again, maybe it will come to us. We want to ask a creator to give us a higher understanding of trust, of why we lose trust, and why, when, I was talking to actually one of the teachers was telling me about their experience, and something happened in their life. And the moment that they started to realize it and dig deeper into it, it felt like they were, when the trust was broken, that actually what was, that's actually very helpful right now. I'm realizing that something that they put on to another person themselves. So trust is broken when it's us who puts on a certain requirement or expectation from other people. So you really want to understand that the expectation is something that I put on the other person. It's not necessarily that was agreed on, but I put this expectation from the other person. And when they experience and they didn't meet that, when the other person didn't meet this expectation, the person, I still remember, it felt like they were stabbed in their gut. It was so deep, it was so strong and visceral that it felt like somebody's literally, God forbid, using a knife and stabbing them. So to let go of our expectations from other people, and again, to be humble in the sense that you don't want to be extra spiritual beyond what you are. You don't want to be like, you don't want to be forcing yourself to feel things and to be like, no, this has to be right, I have to let go, etc. Be present of where you are. Aquarius, this is probably what's going to happen in this month. Aquarius is very idealistic. It lives in the world of ideas, and it's all about, this is how it needs to be, this is what it has to be, and that's it. The opposite sign of Aquarius is, in terms of attributes, is the sign of Cancer. Right? It's the total opposite. Cancer is all about trust. They're probably much more trustworthy. They are all about home. They're all about taking care of people around them, right? They're all about home base, right? They're all about kind of like bringing a warm feeling. The opposite of Aquarius. Aquarius is all about, let's go save the world. Somebody's dying next to you. If there's a roommate Aquarius and somebody's dying next to him, it doesn't matter. We have to go save children in Africa. We have to go run and remove hunger. Who cares about the person next to me? So this month, it's very important to bring it home. It's very important that in our interactions with people, we are soft, we are gentle, we're considerate, we stay away from anger. The anger of Aquarius is probably the strongest angers. It's outwardly angers. So we want to really bring it home. We want to remind what's the most important thing in this world. It's your surroundings, it's your people around you. It's about being compassionate, kind, and really taking care of people around you. Something that's not going to be natural this month. This month is all going to be again, let's rebel, let's make a revolution. Somebody is not feeling well, it's okay, it's not important. The idea is more important. The idea is what's important. The fact that somebody's suffering, it's okay, they'll get over it. So it's very important to be present in your emotions this month. Present in your emotions. Be not dwelled, not under them, but be conscious of them. Be like, okay, this is what I'm feeling. This is what I'm experiencing. Vulnerability, not an attribute of Aquarius. Not an attribute. Complete opposite. They are not about exposing their emotions. They're not about feeling. There was once another teacher, and she was a triple Aquarius, and it was just an incredibly positive and nice person, but emotions was not something, that was an option. So again, by the way, if there's any questions or any comments, anything you want to know more about, feel free to ask. So trust, I'm coming to a place where I think I should build a class and give it as a separate class about trust, about this whole idea and how do you let go of it, etc. Another thing that's happening this month, because this week specifically, is humanity is on a course to really discover the creator, right? Humanity is on the course. We've been living, in terms of universal time scope, we're here less than a nanosecond, right? Our existence as human beings compared to the universe is literally minuscule. However, every single human being is a universe. Every single one of us is a total unique universe. But humanity as a whole, and we also individually, we're in the process of really discovering the creator. And for the past, doesn't matter how many thousands of years, we associated the divine force with either a human being or associated with a group of people or a certain hierarchy or something out there, something like, it's not mine, it's not like the creator's in me, but it's something there, it's like higher, above me, below me, whatever you want to think. The important lesson, and this is probably a meditation that it's good to do every single day, is to remind yourself and to feel that the creator is within me, that I am the creator. It's not something outside of me. I don't need to go to a certain place. I don't need to, it's inside of me. Everything is inside of me. The force of the creator, the force of the divine, I am part of the divine force. Imagine doing that meditation for 5 minutes a day. You're totally digesting this idea. I am part of the divine. The divine is part of me. I am an infinite being. I'm an infinite, limitless being. When you start to go to that frequency, when you go to that vibration of thinking, you're going to be so much more free from expecting things from people, from getting upset at small things, from getting upset at the creator for not giving you some small things, etc. All of these systems are gonna change. All of these dogmatic systems are gonna change. And the more I bring myself to this really a vibration, really like a frequency of thinking. And it was so funny, someone posted some video of mine on Facebook, and someone wrote a comment. The moment he started saying that scientists are saying that consciousness is everything and consciousness determines our matter, I said bye. It was so funny to me that, like, it's hilarious that people, 99% of people are like that, right? I'm still like that, really. And deep inside, I say it, right? That consciousness is everything and consciousness determines my reality. And I'm much more aware and evolved than most people. However, if just so you know the measurement, the moment you're able to control physical reality and even elevate, that's a moment you fully ingrain that consciousness within you, right? Because that's a test, kind of. That's a test of Kabbalist. Like, a Kabbalist was someone who could easily do that with his mind. if he was able to control physical reality, bind physical nature, teleport, transport, etc. Okay, then you passed the test. You did your spiritual work, and now you can go to your next level. So those are some beautiful ideas. Another idea that is also bringing it back home is a way to remind us of our own personal mission in this world. Every single one of us has a specific mission, specific evolution. You know, it's so beautifully individual to every single one of us. And there's different missions, right? We don't have just one mission. It's not, we call it tikkun, right? I like to call it evolution. I like to call it your purpose, or the meaning of the reason of why you're here. This is something also that we want to be remembering every single day. What is your mission? What is your purpose? What is my reason for existence? If I'm here, it's funny to say, but if you woke up this morning, that means you have a purpose. Every single one of us has a purpose, and it's more than just to eat, drink, and sleep again. Right? It's much, much more. So you want to remind yourself, what is my purpose? To reconnect yourself with that moment. And not only that, you also want to remember that actually the whole universe is helping you achieve that. As long as I'm remembering and I'm setting my compass to that direction. It says in the Zohar, in many, many multiple places, that the intention, if a person directs himself towards the light will direct towards that person and will pull him towards him. The more a person directs himself to some nonsense, the nonsense will pull him towards that. So that's another way to remind ourselves that we are responsible for our life, right? It's you who's responsible. That's the beauty of it, by the way. That's a true freedom. The true freedom is understanding that I am in control of what's happening to me, and I'm in total control of what will happen to me. And it's not random events. So many different topics: trust, letting go, being open to different perspectives, reconnecting with your own personal mission. It's a very special, I really want to stress the specialty of this month. It's a very positive month. Very, it's funny that it's not just, I remembered why. The Rav actually writes in his book, In Days of Power, that there's certain times when a person can achieve, it's a cold word, redemption or total freedom, right? Complete freedom from chaos, complete freedom from Satan, from the limiting forces, from the false beliefs. And there's, for example, in the month of Nisan, or the month of Aries, is the time when globally humanity can achieve it, okay? Now, in the month of Aquarius is when an individual can achieve it. So can you imagine that the next 30 days is your opportunity to take your life from wherever it is to its next level? How can we, it's such a, so incredible, right? Such a beautiful thing that we're gonna have. And the work and the evolution and the amount of evolution only depends on one person, only depends on us. Only depends on us. You are the determining factor of what is going to determine how far, how free you're going to be this month. Very, just really, really, really incredible. I just want to sit with that thought, even I just remembered it, that really personal change, personal transformation can completely happen in the next month, in the month of Aquarius, in the month of Shvat. So obviously taking this class is very helpful, right? Doing the meditations, the daily meditations, etc. But it's really taking this class, for example, everything that we've learned, and ingesting it so thoroughly, ingesting it as much as you can and trying to draw parallels and connections of how is this connecting to my life. Who did I have trust for? Who broke my trust? For example, taking the time of your week and asking yourself, okay, who do I feel like betrayed me? Who really really gave it to me in terms of breaking my trust? How can I be more open in perspectives? This is obviously in everything. Can you imagine that everything in your life can be a totally different perspective? You imagine that you can wake up in the morning and literally wake up and start beaming like the sun because you're so excited from all the different perspectives of everything that can be different in your life. Revolutionizing our consciousness, changing, letting go, being more considerate to people around me. This is huge, right? Really be considerate. Really be considerate. I spoke to someone today and they're like, oh, I need to help this person and I can't just, I can just quote unquote, kick them out. But however, helping somebody in its true sense sometimes is telling them no, right? Sometimes, not sometimes, a lot of times, healthy boundaries is essential in life, right? You cannot be happy if you don't set healthy boundaries. Obviously, it takes time for us sometimes to, for a relationship to make us really understand that, wow, I need to set healthy boundaries in this relationship because it's not going in the right places. And letting go of old perspective, trusting. So bringing all these ideas to us. I have also another hack of how to see what is something that probably applies most to me. This I found out on my own. Whenever an idea comes to you and you have an immediate reaction, oh, that's stupid. Oh, that's dumb. No, that doesn't apply to me. You disregard, you kind of throw it away right away, right? That is usually the idea that you probably need the most. Interesting, right? Because your natural reaction to an idea that you need the most will be the one that you should disregard it. And this isn't everything. Usually the person you don't like the most in the room, the person you don't like the most in the environment, the immediate reaction of I don't like it, get it out of me, is usually the one that's the most important. I remember one of my closest friends that when I first saw him, I was like, what an arrogant person. Like so completely just, completely wanted to, that's not I will never be friends. 2 weeks go by, my closest friend, right? And we realize that we're like literally soul brothers, right? Etc. and so forth. And ideas also, the ideas that I personally disregarded the most and was like, this is so silly, or this is just like, what are they doing? What are they thinking, etc. Right away, not right away, but eventually I saw that this idea applies so personally to me. It's so deep and so important for me that it's literally like, goes home more than anything else. So doing that and really taking this month as like a marathon. Imagine it's a marathon, 30 days. Can you imagine that your tikkun can be done in the next month? It's just mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. Why? Because you can be totally free from old perspectives. That's the ultimate freedom. Freedom is losing old perspectives and gaining the right corrected perspectives. Everything in life, in business, if somebody's business is not doing, if somebody's relationships, if somebody's health, etc., everything is all about perspectives, all about the right beliefs, all about the right consciousness. This month, imagine it's actually called like a golden rain is going to start this month. A golden rain of consciousness is going to pour on us this whole month. So some people experience rain as a beautiful, exciting experience. For some people, they hate rain, right? So whatever, it's not about rain. It's more about understanding of this energy that's coming to us. The energy of this month is all about freedom, all about evolution, all about redemption, all about going above, breaking all limits. We're going to have so many special events in this month also. We're going to have the revelation of 72 names, the actual portion when the 72 names was revealed. We're going to have a revelation of the 10 utterances. We're going to have a special day called Tu B'Shvat, the holiday of trees. So it's just going to come to us nonstop. I see someone raise their hand. 1 second, I'm going to unmute you. Okay, it's either Michael or Edita, so feel free.
Yes,
Hi,
it's
Edita.
hi, Michael. Hi, everyone. There's one point that we forgot to touch is that being an Aquarius,
Oh, you're
um,
Aquarius, so
yeah, Aquarius, but I totally don't fit 100% into that mold,
okay,
because being a student of Kabbalah, many things changed for me throughout the
of
years
course.
with different understandings. But the essential things that I receive is different ideas, a lot of ideas, and I learned how to skim through them. But the main thing that Aquarius are known for is not be able to go by the rules.
Yeah, for sure.
We don't like rules, and I'll explain a little bit about myself why I don't like rules. Because when I get a challenge, a rule is a challenge. Somebody is telling me you cannot do this, and point. To me, I take it as a challenge. Why can't I do it?
Hmm.
I think I could do it. I think I could find ways to finish it or to start it in, let's say, my own way, or maybe I'll ask other people to help me, but I will do that. So talking about Aquarius, what you were just mentioning, that this is an evolution. Yes, I absolutely, I'm happy that you're saying it. Yes, it's an evolution of ideas, of breaking ideas, maybe some good, some bad. But just to finish my, what I was thinking of telling you is that I woke up today with an idea that I decided to be happy.
Nice.
My motto today was I don't care what happens in the world. I'm deciding today that from today on, I want to be happy. And
Beautiful.
that's what I want to wish everyone here, just be happy, whatever happiness means.
Nice. Love it. Thank you. Thank you. Decision just to be happy. What could be better? Huh? That's amazing. So, a lot of amazing ideas. Obviously, we can go on for a very long time. And now some also another some tools of how to achieve all this. And the great tools are questions. Questions are amazing. By the way, like Edita mentioned, it's all about breaking rules, right? And that's why we have so many incredible inventions around us, is because a person who has an inventive mind, he said, why not? Why can't we do that? Why can't we have a light bulb that provides, source of light? Why can't we have life-saving medical machines that save people's lives in hospital? Why not? And this is the consciousness of Aquarius. This is the consciousness of Aquarius. And like Edita said, by the way, why can't I just be happy for no reason today? No reason, literally no reason. Why I can't get up and why I can't choose happiness every single day of my life, right? So some important, not important, but some tips about how do I stay in this mindset. So first of all, I highly recommend listening to the class again to draw parallels and to draw the connections of how these ideas are connected to me. To talk to your teacher, right? To see how is it connected and how can you release yourself from that mindset and go to the next mindset. Asking yourself the right questions. Now, another great way is telling yourself, whenever you hear something that you don't agree with, whenever you have a certain perspective, tell yourself, that's an interesting perspective. That's an interesting perspective. Don't block it off. Don't say it's good or bad. There's nothing good or bad. By the way, definition of reminder also, and one of my friends was here over the weekend also, and we were talking about what's the difference between spirituality and religion. really, not that there's anything wrong with religion, but religion tries to label things as good and bad. And that's also our low vibrational mind is trying to tell you, this is bad, this is good, this is bad. In reality, in the light's point of view, there's good and there's better, but there's no good or bad. Okay? And that's why it's good to say that's an interesting perspective. That's what everything is. Everything is an interesting perspective. When you say that something is an interesting perspective, that will mean that you are open to view it deeply. That you're not, when you say that it's bad, you kind of close the label, it's closed and shipped. When you say it's an interesting perspective, that means you're interested in discovering it more. You're interested in evolving it. You're interested in looking into it more. It's like, oh, interesting. That's an interesting perspective. Really, that's how you think? Tell me more. That's an interesting perspective. Tell yourself that also. Really, I think that that's an interesting perspective. That's interesting. That's one. Continuously asking yourself, how does it get any better? I love this question. Such a good question. How does it get any better? Constantly. Something good happens, ask yourself, how does it get any better? Something happens that didn't want to go your way, also say, how does it get any better? Because things are only getting better. Also, this quote I shared it a while ago said, to repeat it to yourself in the mornings and at night, in every way, every day, I'm getting better and better. Every way and every day, I'm getting better and better. Constantly be in that mindset that you are getting better. That's what you are doing. And again, bringing it to home, bringing it home, either practicing meditation, doing everything. I mean, this is so, it probably came to us from the Rav, the fact that I remember this quote from the Days of Power, that in the month of Shvat, you're able to completely finish your tikkun, right? Think about that. Now, the good thing about it is when you meditate and think about, okay, what does it mean to finish my tikkun? So you might assume in your mind's eye, you might start to see certain things, right? That's good. You might see that, oh, this will be my redemption. This is my freedom. This is how I am in complete and whole self. Step further is to go deeper in how it feels. And I understand that the immediate reaction that most of us has, it feels good, it feels great, and how it is happy. Go deeper into it. How does it really feel? What does it mean that all your tikkuns are done, that all your limits are taken out, right? So it feels good. Yes, obviously you're happy, of course, you're excited, you're elated, etc. But if you go further, do you feel secure? Do you feel complete? Do you feel whole? And that feeling is actually what you're going for. And that's the actual freedom. Now, if I include that in my daily meditation, if I include that feeling, the promotion of that feeling in my daily meditation, I'm basically 99% there. I'm 99% there. Imagine yourself, you want to be you want to be a billionaire. How would you feel? First of all, a lot of interesting things might happen. You might start feeling afraid, or et cetera, et cetera. That's good. That means you're operating, you're changing something, right? But also go deeper and see how would it make you feel in general. Okay, everyone. So let's do a meditation where we can bring all this. It's interesting. I want to share something personal for you right now. Usually whenever I would hear this idea that you can achieve redemption, you can achieve total tikkun in this month, I would immediately feel anxious. I was like, oh my God, so much to do. How do I do this? And now I don't have it anymore. I'm very happy about that. I don't have this feeling. So thumbs up to me. Hopefully you don't either. Also, so we can close our eyes, and this meditation is to give you this class in a subconscious level, right? To receive this class on a subconscious level. And the way we do that is we want to be relaxed. We want to be relaxed. We want to be grounded in ourselves, and we want to center our consciousness in our heart. We want to center our consciousness in our heart. and start to slowly feel connected with everything around you. Feel connected with whatever you're sitting on, with the room that you're in. Start to feel that you're one. There's no separation. And expand it to the building you're in, to our city, to the entire continent and planet, to completely feel that you are one with this planet. Then we want to expand and realize that we're one with this entire universe. And then expand and see that we're one with the layers of lights that are above our universe. And expand into a beautiful, bright plane of light. And then a golden plane of light. And then a jello-like substance. And then finally expand into the Creator's endless light. It's a beautiful, iridescent, tingling light. It's just pure, unconditional love of the Creator, the source of everything on this planet. From the atoms to the mountains to galaxies is made from this creative force. And we want to receive consciousness, beliefs, energies, emotions from this endless energy. And to begin, we want to receive a full download, understanding, and feeling that we are part of the endless. We're part of this divine being. We're part of this endless energy. To live our everyday life, every second of our life, with this consciousness. If you want that, say yes. We want to receive the reminder and remember the real reason we're here. The contract that we wrote up with the Creator of what's our mission in this world. What's our higher mission in this world. And we want to feel comfortable about it. To feel comfortable and want to understand that we have all the resources needed to accomplish our mission. If you want that download, also say yes. And forgiveness and trust. We want to receive the Creator's perspective, understanding, and ability to forgive anyone who we thought betrayed us, hurt us, to offer them complete forgiveness and to ask people who we might have hurt for forgiveness as well. If you want that, also say yes. And as a virtue or an attribute that we can ask the Creator to help us with this month is being trustworthy. What does it mean to be trustworthy from Creator's point of view? What does it mean to trust? What does it mean to offer trust? What does it mean to let go? And also we can ask the Creator to amplify our attribute of trust as much as possible through Creator's unconditional love. And if you want that, say yes. And we also want to know that we can trust ourselves and the Creator. And to be open to different perspectives. To be open to be guided by the Creator. And as Rav once told me, to ask the Creator to help change things that I don't even know I need help changing. That's the ultimate humbleness and openness. And we always want to broadcast this light that we generated and this unconditional love to the entire world, the entire universe, to help us come to the space of no pain, no suffering, no chaos in this world. Complete bliss, endless bliss. I want to thank the Creator, thank the light for this experience, for helping us be here, for allowing us to be here, and to help us integrate, remember, and use all the light we received to bring even more light into our life. And whenever you're ready, you can rinse yourself in light, fill yourself up with more light, and open your eyes. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for joining. Highly appreciate it. And I'll see you all next week. Make sure you tune in this Wednesday. I'm pretty sure it's next Wednesday. I didn't check, but the new moon with Michael and Monica Berg to learn even more about the month. And we might do a meditation Wednesday. I'll keep you posted to connect to the new moon as well. All the best, everyone. Lots of love. See you soon.